Hello there, Sir from 17 once again, bringing you the next chapter in my Deus Ex. Oh, fuck, caught up there, didn't I? In my Human Revolution, tut. Give me Deus Ex difficulty, video walkthrough. And right there, that is how high you can jump and land and nearly die from. And isn't that the biggest piece of bullshit on this game? At the start of this, when I started playing this game, I fucking hated it. And the reason is, I am so suicidally, lackadaisical with my gameplay, it's unbelievable. I will run and jump off everything regardless of height, because I'm so used to not dying from it. This is not Castlevania on the N64. This is not that fucking serious, yet you die like a motherfucker on this game, and it is horrific. And I've just cursed up a storm there, completely ruined my PG rating, but I'll get back to what I was saying. This is Chapter 8, this is Black Market Deal, and this is another 20 minutes of gaming goodness. And what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be introduced to the Triad in Shanghai, the lovely mafia boss, and he, as the title suggests, is a lovely black market dealer. And we're going to be doing a few tasks for him and a couple of conversations so that we can get on and get this stuff solved. But this is not too bad, this part of the game. It's actually quite swift, and if you know what you're doing, even more so. But Tong is up here, and unbelievably enough, he is the bartender that you have to argue about seeing him with. That's the little twist. I've just ruined it for you. You'll live, I'm sure. But this conversation's interesting because you can fuck it up very easily, and when you go to talk to him again to try it once more, he actually tells you that it's not been long enough, so you have to run away and come back. But luckily enough, on the recording run, I hit all the right notes, and I managed to get him down into the basement to unveil the location of this hacker that we're trying to track down. But it is a pretty long conversation, and the options will come up for you if you have the enhancement of the social augment that I don't have yet, which I should have bought because it makes them so much easier. But you can always save before the conversations and reload. It just means you have to sit through the fucking loading screen again, and if a loading screen was ever a physical presence, I would punch it, because it just pissed me off to high heaven. But this guide was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be, and that is complete and utter honesty there for you. For some reason I was really nervous yet excited about the challenge, and it turned out I probably recorded this faster than any other guide I've done, not only because I was excited to do it and I needed to do it, but because it wasn't quite as challenging as it is on paper. And if you're watching this and you're going for it just like I am in the same method and it's helping, that's both awesome, and you will do it. It's really not as bad as it seems. When you first start playing this game, you get shit on because you don't know its rules, you don't know how to approach its environments, you don't know how to predict its enemies, or to make your way through the simplest of rooms, and it's very cruel because you don't take that much damage when you get seen. The alarms spring up all over the place, there's cameras, there's turrets, there's hacking, there's doors, there's a lot of different mechanics that make it more challenging than it necessarily has to be, because you don't know which is best, you don't know what to optimize your character for, and it's like everything else, it is a learning experience that by the end of the game, you've almost subconsciously taken on board all these different principles, and it's just become second nature, muscle memory, and you react instead of having to think and then act. And that is the best thing about playing games, and that's what separates them from anything else, I think, when it comes to games worth. Because I actually had a very interesting argument with my girlfriend while we were on holiday, because she paid 59 euros for a fucking bag, and I don't care how French this bag is, it's a fucking bag. And I know I'm a man, I know I don't put that much worth in bags, because at the end of the day all they do is carry shit, so them and toilets are practically the same thing, or cistern tanks, or sewage tunnels. You get the metaphor, but I don't understand paying that much for this really nice bag apparently. But my girlfriend does, because that's what she loves, and I love her, so she can buy this bag if she wants to. I'm still going to scorn and make jokes because it's just the person I am. But she then goes on to say, it's just the same as you buying a game and paying 40-50 quid for a game. And I always scoff, pull a face, and go, how the fuck is it the same? Because, just stay with me here, guys. A computer game, or a video game, depending on how you want to say it and what part of the world you're in, is an intellectual property. What does that mean? It is not only something of value, but it is a piece of art that transcends genre. And the reason I say this is, it is a CD, it's a DVD, it's a book, It's a physical exercise, a mental exercise. It is all these combination of elements that come together to form what is on this game. You will learn something by the end of it. You will be engrossed by a storyline. You will hear some of the most beautiful art, some of the most beautiful music. You will see some of the most beautiful artwork. You will overcome problems. You will problem solve and face challenges. You will create skills and mental abilities just through the simple art of moving analogs and pressing buttons. And it all sounds like I'm over dramatizing what games do, but a game is not a fucking bag. A bag is like a piece of wood. What does a piece of wood do aside from build a bridge? It has the potential to be a lot of things, but at the end of the day, it's a piece of fucking wood. Games, you can't put a title or give worth or value to what a game is, because a game is a very subjective thing. A game is whatever you want it to be, and also if it follows a concise narrative or if it entertains you, then it's achieving what it's supposed to do. But games are the ultimate form of entertainment, and something that I do believe transcends clarification. So to compare it to a €59 bag is just preposterous, because I'm not going to put 100 hours into a bag. You couldn't even fit fucking 5 books in that bag. Although she says she's going to be using it for a long period of time. So we had a pretty funny conversation about that. And I do apologise if you're not interested in this little debate. But yeah, I defended video games because I do believe that they are the closest thing we have to pure art. A pure art form that benefits us as a race. But once you've talked to him and you've got through the conversation tree, you will then be able to speak to this mysterious Tong. There's an air vent here that I have absolutely no idea what it's for, because it enables you to sneak into the side of the office and have a perfect view to kill Mr. Tong if you were some kind of shadow assassin, but you don't have to kill this guy, and if you did, you wouldn't be able to finish the game. So that makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. You see, I say that, and maybe you can kill him, and it goes off on a different tangent. I'm not sure. This is a game of choice. I'll have to try that. But I assume you can't, because it's bad news. But once you come in here, make sure you pillage his room, because there's a couple of goodies hanging about, and you have to talk to him once again, and he's gonna indulge you with the details of where Van Brugan is, which is the hacker we've been trying to track down. And locating Van Brugan is probably going to be in this video, because this is a long-ass video. And once again we find ourselves in another dialogue tree. So do your usual Clint Eastwood thing, and pull your pistols and whistle Dixie. Or, you know, just be aggressive and get the information out of him whichever way you can. But this guy's got one hell of a birthmark. I wonder what the fuck happened there. Maybe he was one of those mythical shit babies. It looks pretty crazy. Watch this. Did you see that just then? That is really, really bad. This is a preset animation here when you're in this dialogue, and the camera is controlled by the programming, and for some reason it stutters every so often on that mid shot on Tong. I don't know why it does it, but there's 2 very visible cuts in the editing to the conversation where it's almost as if the next video starts, and it's very jarring. And if you've ever studied, learnt, or you know, have a passion for reading into the rules of editing, you will know if you notice the edit, it's a bad edit, unless it's intentionally trying to be fancy, because it's something like, you know, a montage or something. And that is about as jarring as it gets. That completely rips you out of the immersion factor. It's really bad. Oh, something I haven't mentioned as well, because I got talking about bags like a fucking idiot. That when I went into the bathroom in that place, there's a vent that leads outside, so if you can go around the side of the club, you don't have to pay the tariff to get inside. Also, I don't know if you have the social augment ability, but you can bluff your way into the club without paying by using that ability. I obviously didn't have it unlocked, it didn't give me the option, so to save time, I just copped over the money. And it pained me to do it because I'm a tight bastard, but it's what needed to be done. And once you've come through there, just follow this path that I'm showing now to get to the Alice pod area, which is through here, which is one of those awesome oriental, I think they're the equivalent of hotels. I've seen them in Japan, I assume they're in Shanghai or China or wherever, but they are the closest to human beings being completely turned into a commodity, because it is the smallest living space imaginable. It's the space for a bed. It's almost like something out of fucking Red Dwarf. It's like a space bed. It's awesome. And all it is a tube that's big enough for a person, that's got a bed in it, it's got a pillar in it, it's got like a light on the side and all sorts of stuff, and then a curtain. And people are packed into these walls, like 3 deep, like fucking sardines. It's incredible. And I didn't even think it was true. I just thought it was, some fabrication of a science fiction orientated game. But if you watch Tom Green's Subway Monkey Hour, he actually wakes a guy up at, at 4 o'clock in the morning dressed as a fork, trying to sell him a fork t-shirt, because he's absolutely insane. But he's stopping in one of those hotels, and they are just bizarre. And I am fascinated and in love with Japanese culture. I don't know if it originated from Japan, it could have originated from another area of Asia, but I just can't wait to go to Japan, just like I can't wait to go to America, because they are my 2 massive hotspots that I need to see and I need to experience. But anyhow, back to the game. Malik is asking us now to investigate a so-called suicide or an accident of her friend who's died, and it's showing a lot of signs of being a little bit iffy. And you can investigate it, get an achievement, fulfill the storyline and whatnot, and complete the quest, but that's not what this guide's about, so I'm actually going to decline that side quest and carry on with the game. And this area here, there is a shortcut up to the first balcony if you do what I just did then. It's a nice little jump upwards. And these are the beds I was just speaking about. The ones in Japan are the opposite way, so all you can see is the head of the bed and you crawl into them, but it's the same kind of design, and it's still pretty fucking weird if you ask me. It's turning humans into cattle, and I don't know, the ethics in that is just kind of strange. But all these beds, well, not all of them, that's me using hyperbole once again, a handful of these beds will have items in them, so it's best to check as many as you can, because you'll find protein bars, you'll find ammunition, you'll find weapons, you'll find all sorts of madness. There's even a dialogue up at the top, I think on the top floor, where a woman mentions that something's open, and if you go back down you can open it up and get some goodies, but I don't think I do that, because I'm just all balls to the wall trying to get through the game. And when you get to, I think it's the 3rd or 4th floor, there is only one bed you can examine, and that is the bed where the gold cross is, that is where the objective is, and that is where Van Brugan is. And when we talk to him, he's going to send us on an errand to go to a whorehouse and pick up a certain passcode that's going to get us into a high security building where we need to find some files. And that is the next objective, so once you've finished exploring, once you've finished, Deus Exing it up, you will hopefully be back on track to getting through the storyline. And one thing I did notice when I was playing this game is it's not actually that long when you do nothing but the main quest. It's still a decent size, but it's considerably shorter than if you really indulge in all the storylines, in all the side quests, and in all the different things to see. So once again, this is more proof that you shouldn't play the game like this guide is going to prescribe, because this is a game that just rewards exploration, it rewards in immersion, and you're going to ruin that by playing it like a machine and just going for the most efficient and effective way to beat it. At the end of the day, this is not a crap game that you're trying to get an easy 1000 on. This is a fantastic game with a more than achievable 1000G, so you cannot not enjoy it, I believe. It's just too good. It's far too good. And there's a section coming up in this area when you bring the information back to Van Brugan that he sends you off on the errand to do. This is his bed just there. That's going to trigger a conversation with him. And when you come back, there's going to be a bus. There's going to be a massive... It's pretty much a setup. A ton of the police officers from Bell Tower are going to show up, and they're going to be searching this entire place, looking for you and looking for Van Brugan. And you have to stealth your way out of it. And it's not too challenging, but if you have the Icarus, it's significantly easier than the way that I'm going to show you, because I don't think I've bought it yet. I can't remember. But here is Van Brugan anyway, apologising for his part in what happened all those months ago. And isn't it funny how when you see Adam in the light, his coat looks almost navy blue, yet in all the shadows it's full on black and beastly. And it is a pretty badass coat. The sleeves are kind of funky though, but I think that's more to do with the modelling than anything else.
How do you think they got that way?
And when you start a new game, it's super weird because you're so used to seeing him with his built-in sunglasses, and when he doesn't have them, he looks weird as balls. But just keep talking to the guy. He'll eventually tell you what you need to do, and he'll tell you about the security guard who has a flavour for the ladies. And I don't actually know when you go to the whorehouse if you can sit and watch them get it on, because he mentions don't get distracted by the show, which I assume is referencing the dude ploughing the prostitute, but when you get there he's talking to her in a bathroom, and I never really give him enough chance to get get down and dirty, but it wouldn't surprise me if you do, because this game does seem to have a lot of attention to detail in some areas. I'm definitely going to be paying attention to Eidos Montreal when they release another game, because this is definitely a high seal of quality, and that can be rare these days. I mean, look at Brink. I swear to God, you could have 1,000 people buffing Brink with those electric buffing machines, and at the end of the day, you're still going to have the biggest turd. That is possibly one of the worst games I have ever played. It is that bad. Just truly, truly bad. So here he goes. He's telling us to run along. Run along, Seraph Man, whoever he calls you. Then he's going to lay back down in his bed with his nice little flat screen, his bottle of water, and whatever the hell that thing is that's connected to those cables. We got a Praxis kit. I'm checking to see if there's anything I can use it on that's worthwhile. There's the Icarus landing that I keep mentioning that I don't have. It is a fantastic ability and it looks badass. But now you have to make your way over to, I can't remember the name of the whorehouse, but if you've been doing the side quests, it's the one where you helped the prostitute save a friend who'd been stolen, who'd been taken away, sorry, that's better English, by the people that were forcing them to be hookers, and she was about to be augmented. So it is that whorehouse. I think it's the only one in Shanghai or in Hangzhou, whatever it's called. And that's where you have to make your way to it. And if you're wondering the direction on how to get into the room, it's very simple. It's the room where the side quest lady is. If you go out the back door, there is a balcony, then you jump across the balconies, Hitman style, and you can sneak into his room. And it's very reminiscent of Hitman, actually, because there is a level, I think, on it's either Hitman Contracts, I think it's Hitman Contracts, where you go into a hotel, and you have to assassinate two different guys, and one of them is in the shower, and he's got a bodyguard in his room, and you can climb into one of the other rooms with a master key, jump across the balconies, sneak in, subdue his bodyguard, and then kill him in the shower, and get out of there before anybody knows you were there. And it's through the exact same method. Oh, just had to stop the commentary there so I could trim out a loading screen that somehow evaded me. But this game does load like a motherfucker, and I did just save, so that's why it was there. But this is the whorehouse, the knocking shop, whatever you want to call it. And if you go all the way up to the, I believe it's the top floor, which is the 4th level, then you can come through this door, and straight forward there will be two people arguing in this room. To my left, there they are, there's the argument. They stop when you come in, ignore them, come through the door, then you can jump across these balconies to the far end one, and that is the room that you have to infiltrate. So if you crouch, just to make sure that you're a little bit quieter, there's the data card. I don't fuck about, so I can't tell whether or not they're going to be getting it on, and then I get the hell out of there. You can actually jump off the roof here instead of going all the way back out down the shop, but you need the Icarus ability, and I don't have it. So if I were to jump off that roof, I would be seeing a loading screen, and I would be getting very frustrated, and I implore you not to do the same unless you have Icarus, and then just fuck it, jump off everything. If anything, just to see the cutscene, because it's great. But we are coming to the end of the first part, to the Black Market deal. And we are more than halfway through the game now, so if you've been doing the cutscenes, you might not quite be this far. What the fuck did I just say that for? If you've been doing the side quests, goodness me, my word just farted then. It just mind-fucked, farted, it did all the good stuff, and it came out wrong. But yeah, if you've been doing the side quests, it might have taken you slightly longer to get here, but I wouldn't worry, you will be stronger, you will be better equipped, and you will be more capable than the people that just rush all the way through the game like I'm doing. But come back to the Alice Podland place. You should know your way around it by now, hopefully. Because when you get back here, you're going to have to stealth all the way back down it. Because note, when you deliver, should I say, sorry, this item to Van Brugan, you are going to be forced to either fight or stealth your way through the next section. So depending on how you're playing, if you're doing what I'm doing, you're going to have to get your ninja suit back on and stealth past a shit ton of guys, and it's quite challenging, I'm not going to lie, but that's going to be in the next video, guys. So as always, thanks for watching, and you take care now.
Save it. Here's the smart card and my passport. Now start encoding.